see you've joined me just in time while I unload my tomatoes. I will talk you through. So Khan from Khan Gaming, the other day he built a truck. Trailer, hitch, the lot. He built a massive semi-truck, if you want to call it, 18-wheeler, whatever you want to call it, like that. I've expanded on it because I noticed that he had to do everything manually in terms of putting his stabilizers down for his trailer and all this sort of stuff. So I have knocked up, not the neatest, I admit, but the most convenient for me, because I like to do everything from within my truck. I'm not the kind of guy that moves out. So I've automated the trailer pickup and the pistons. You can see it on the back of my own truck right here. It's not ideal, I'll admit that. But for me, the importance is I want ground clearance in my truck, which is why this mess is what it is. So I'll just talk you through it. This big gap here, this is where the trailer goes in. Then I've got this pin, it'll spin round and it will lock the trailer in place. And then I've got this bad boy, and this was the most confusing thing to set up because obviously I wanted to keep my ground clearance whilst my truck was on its own. But when we get to the trailer, what you'll see is this big section here actually sets off a sensor. Basically, I'll do it before we get underneath. I'll show you first. So the little loop at the back basically blocks the hole off. The big paddle in the middle goes underneath the truck. It looks a little bit like this. Okay, nothing special. So then we have our trailer over here. Gonna back up and hitch up. And that's us in. And now, if I press my magic button, see the legs of the trailers come down? Watch near the blue little down light, look. Boom. All automated. I don't have to get out to push any buttons. I just jump in, connect, disconnect, do everything I want to do from the cab. Nice and convenient for me. I love sitting in my truck. It's a bit mad, but I like it here. And it enables me to connect and disconnect. Now all that is, to do that, it's just run from a sensor that's in the middle of the hitch. So what happens there is, the way that this all closes up, it closes so tight to the hitch that it's always in contact with the sensor. Because I was having problems where I would sometimes lose contact with the sensor, so the legs would be going down and up and all over the place, and it'd make life an absolute nightmare. But doing it this way, it means that it is in constant contact no matter where I go or how I go. You see, it's in constant contact with the sensor. The sensor then runs through a NOR gate, so it kind of flips it, if you like. So when it senses something, it turns off, rather than being on. And it's as simple as that. As for the truck side of things, that was a little bit more confusing, because obviously I have the space I have to work with, and the reason why I have this space is because this is where I like to keep my resource collection pods when I'm struggling around. So I wanted to keep it a flatbed and relatively space. I didn't want nothing sticking up above or underneath, which is why I've got this absolute mayhem of a system set up. And yeah, as you can see, all of these bearings and the piston are all linked to the controller. And then it was just a case of working out what order I wanted it to do. So it was a case of rotating it and pushing the piston and everything. So it did take a long time to work out. It really did. I got so confused in trying to work it out and redesign it and redesigning it. But it's possible to have automated trailer legs from within the truck.